little bit now to players and really using their platform. We saw it in Oklahoma State with Chuba Hubbard and Mike Gundy down in Oklahoma State. We're seeing it now with Kylan Hill and the flag down in Mississippi. So Marvin Wilson at Florida State and Mike Norvell was another situation that happened. And I'm sure you visit all these college campuses before during your 25 years at ESPN. So you're interacting with these coaches and these players on a weekly basis. But just what's your overall thoughts on these players using their platform now?
I think it's healthy. I think that in football, and you played the game, you know this, you build a community as a football team. You love each other in that locker room, regardless of race or religion or whatever it might be. We're one. We're a group. And I really feel that in order to get what this game has to offer, you need coaches who are part of that one. Not because they're afraid of what a player might threaten them to do. Like if I'm a coach, I want to listen to my players and I want to invest in my players. And I didn't need a movement to do that. Like if a coach is doing his job, to me, he's already plugged in to Jordan Reid. He already knows about your parents. He already knows about your girlfriend and her name and just your life. Because when players feel that, man, my position coach and my coordinator especially, they kind of know who I am as a person. They care about me. They love me. Man, that coach can say and do anything to that player in order to motivate him, in order to get him to buy into the culture. If a coach doesn't do that and he kind of has his head in the sand and he just looks at his players as if, you're a player that can help me get from point A to point B, then that coach isn't gonna survive very long. So I think it's a little bit of a slippery slope. The examples you gave were outstanding. I think if I were a coach, I think I would be very careful of not being aware of what's happening. And I want my players to know I'm not doing this because it looks good or it sounds good. I'm doing this because you're like my kids. It's like I have 100 kids and I care about you guys, and stuff that matters to you matters to me. So I think if you're invested in your kids, then your kids are going to respect you and they're going to appreciate what you have to say. With that in mind, I think Nick Saban is a guy that does feel the way that I just said, right? He does invest in his players. But Nick Saban, man, he sets a bar and he creates a culture. He calls it the process. And my fear would be, what if Nick Saban makes a player do something he doesn't want to do, and that player is taken back, or, man, this isn't right, and I'm going to go to Twitter or I'm going to go to wherever, and I'm going to I'm going to try to rally the troops against Coach Saban, and Coach Saban better stop getting us up at 6 a.m. to work out or whatever it is, because we don't think that this is in our best interest. Then a coach has to say, hey, I've created a culture. You decided to come be a part of my culture. I'm the boss of my culture. I really want you to be a part of it, but you have to buy in to my culture. I'm going to make you do some things that you don't think you can mentally or physically do, but we need to go through that for us to become the team that becomes mentally tough, physically tough. So when we get into these games, we're going to be able to win, and we're going to be able to come together as one. So as long as players understand that this sport is demanding, good coaches are going to make you do things as a group that you never imagined you could do, and you're going to get through it, and it's going to make you better, because coaches like to make practices harder than the games. And if they stop doing that because they're fearful that someone's going to go to Twitter and say this coach is being too mean or this coach isn't being fair, that to me is not right. But what the examples you gave, I think, are great, especially right now with everything going on. I think it's very cool for them to be able to use their voice and be heard.